What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so, man, I hesitated a little bit talking about this video, doing this video, excuse me. But because I saw that this is trending so hard on social media, in particular X, and I think there's some misinformation out there, I felt like I should just at least tackle this one. So there's this persistent rumor that's being put out there that President Donald Trump has died. Okay. I started seeing it last night, and it stems from the fact that, Donald Trump has always been for the most part, he has been a guy that has been, since he entered the public sphere, a guy that always seems to be either on social media, reacting to things, or in front of the cameras. Now, as president, usually a president is a very busy individual. They have many things that they have to do and different presidential duties they have to perform and events that they have scheduled. So what people are reacting to and think is very strange is the fact that Donald Trump has not, at least as of my recording this video, he has not been seen in public in 3 days. He has not been seen in public, I think, since the 26th. And none of the White House reporters have seen him in the last couple of days. Nobody has seen him. And also what is strange is that when you look at the White House schedule, there's nothing on the itinerary going through Labor Day. And there was a strange comments from Vice President J.D. Vance. I guess some reporters asked him about, I don't know whether they asked him about Trump or whether he just brought it up anyway. I have to look into that part. But something to the effect of Trump is in perfect health, but if need be, if a crisis were to come up, I could step in to become president. Like I said, I don't know whether or not a reporter or someone asked that or whether he just volunteered that up. I don't know. Me personally, I don't think that Donald Trump is dead. I do believe what is more likely is that his health it might possibly be deteriorating further. But I don't think that he's deceased. And like I said, I gotta be kind of careful talking about this type of stuff because I don't want to make it seem like I'm not the type of person that wishes these things on people. I don't. There are a lot of people right now who I think are scumbags and hypocrites because, I distinctly remember a lot of people completely ignoring me when Joe Biden was president, and I talked about how the media was flippantly irresponsible when it comes to reporting his health decline. They didn't even want to acknowledge it. They covered it up for the most part. So this same media, this same primarily left-leaning media has been grossly irresponsible, were grossly irresponsible in covering up Joe Biden's decline, which we covered here on our channel, right? And we turned out to be correct. Matter of fact, it appears that Joe Biden had cancer while he was president. Cancer. Because it just, there was one incident where he acknowledged being a cancer survivor. And, later on, White House spokesperson said, he misspoke, only to find out that he has stage 4 prostate cancer a couple months after he leaves office. That doesn't usually happen, isn't it? You don't usually just develop cancer to that degree in a couple of months after leaving office. So more than likely he had cancer while he was president, which is what we said. So when it comes to health transparency, the Democrats can go kick rocks because you guys are full of shit too. Now, having said all of that, right? The right-leaning media need to do and practice what they preach as far as what they said the left media should have did when Biden was president, and demand to know more about what's going on with President Trump. When you look at his hand, right, and I'm not trying to act like I'm a doctor, I'm not, but when you look at the bruising on his hands, which has gotten absolutely worse, it's gotten much worse over the past year or so. I worked in a hospital, and usually when I see people with those types of bruising on their hands, it's usually people who have had consistent IV treatments in their hands, usually either from cancer or it could be from people who have late stage congestive heart failure. So when I see that with Trump, and you saw the pictures recently of his ankles and his feet, I mean, it's screaming congestive heart failure to me. Not this venous super deficiency, whatever the fuck they want to pass it off as. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I think they're covering up a lot of shit. I do think like some of those old style Soviet leaders who all of a sudden started disappearing, and the Soviet government would come up with some wild excuse as to why they haven't been seen, and it's really because they're in the hospital somewhere, but they'll just say, oh, he's busy at work at his office, he's just he's just busy. It just become some excuse as to why he hasn't been seen in public, when in reality he was sick. I remember they did that with what was his name? Andropov, excuse me, I think his name was Andropov. They did that with Yuri Andropov, and they did that with I think his name was Konstantin Chernenko. And they did that with Leonid Brezhnev before both of those guys. So, hey, is this White House doing that with Trump? Perhaps. But for all these people that's cheering for Trump to kick the bucket and all that shit, man, do y'all really want that? Because think about what that entails. Because think about this. If that happens, first of all, don't forget that his supporters are already by nature paranoid and conspiracy theorists at heart. So a lot of them are already going to think that something happened to him. He was fine one day, and then this happens. Did some liberal, because there's already been allegedly two attempts on his life already, right? So, do you really want that? So they're going to become even more emboldened. And then J.D. Vance is a far better politician than Donald Trump ever was. Far better. So, do y'all really want that? Do you really want to go with the devil that you don't know rather than the devil that you know? So, look, I don't wish nothing on this dude, man. I think that's kind of, that's tacky, man. I don't know. I just, look, man, there have been a lot of people in the White House who I don't like. Like, I can't, retroactively, after doing research, I can't stand Woodrow Wilson. I can't stand Ronald Reagan. I don't wish that upon people, bro, because it brings bad energy for you. It brings bad energy for you. See, a lot of y'all are young and y'all don't really think of that type of shit. You think you're immortal. Uh, mm. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.